A couple of months ago, I was plagiarized by another YouTuber. I'm not gonna tell you who did it because I don't think YouTuber beef is interesting. They operate a relatively small channel, and they've since deleted the infringing video. But of course, I managed to download the video before they deleted it. It was called The Year Shohei Ohtani Broke Baseball, and it ripped off a video I did 3 years ago called The Year of Ohtani. This is the part where I have to be very clear with my words, because this plagiarism discussion isn't about videos sharing the same topic. Yes, Shohei Ohtani had an amazing season in 2021. No, you wouldn't be stealing from me if you made a video analyzing his performance from that year. We're not talking about the premises of these videos, we're talking about the actual content within, and the only way I can make those points clear is by showing you some clips from my video from 2021, and then the infringer's video from 2024. So the infringer's video kicks off with about 3 minutes on Ohtani's career up to 2021. As far as I can tell, none of it was directly borrowed from me, but I can't speak for anyone else. Then it describes his 2021 MVP season in the context of following up his disappointing 2020 campaign.
And you can see how remarkable this is if you consider that this was off the back of a largely unimpressive 2020 season. In fact, it should be impossible. But then again, it's just another day in the year of Ohtani.
It's just another day in the year of Ohtani is practically a non sequitur here. The video hasn't even talked about a specific day yet. Meanwhile, my video, which again is called The Year of Ohtani, starts with a specific day, August 18th, 2021, and then proceeds to describe a game where Ohtani hit his 40th home run and pitched 8 innings of 1-run ball before ending with this. But for Shohei, it's just another day in the year of Ohtani.
It's just another day in the year of Ohtani.
This is just the first of many examples. It's gonna get a lot worse than this, but one trend you'll see is that when you plagiarize in this fashion, the overall work suffers because they say it's just another day in the year of Ohtani, and only then do they begin to describe the same day I describe.
A 430-foot homer and 8 innings of 1-run ball should be a miracle. But for Ohtani, it's just another day at the ballpark.
You'll notice the accompanying video clip isn't from that game or that day at all, and the point is completely lost without that. 639 plate appearances as a hitter and 533 batters faced as a pitcher adds up to 1,172 total matchups.
By the end of the season, he had 639 plate appearances as a hitter and 533 batters faced as a pitcher. That's 1,172 total matchups in one season. You see, baseball at its core is based on a series of one-on-one matchups.
Baseball, at its core, is a series of 1v1 matchups between the hitter and the pitcher. So you can see it's not just the citing of the stats, like the plate appearances plus batters faced. I don't know if one cool stat is, intellectual property, but they're doing this while lifting entire sentences from my video, and writing those sentences might not be their livelihood, but it sure is mine. And a man's gotta make a living however he can. Because this video is brought to you by SMACKIN sunflower seeds. I have a confession to make. I used to get my sunflower seeds the old-fashioned way. Trespassing in community gardens and whatnot. But then I said to myself, there's gotta be a better way. And there is, because SMACKIN doesn't just have classic flavors like OG, they have unique ones like cinnamon churro, cheddar jalapeno, and garlic parmesan. These flavors are loved by fans everywhere, and they're perfect for a healthy, low-sodium snack with a fun twist. You can even get them in a bucket. It doesn't get more baseball than a bucket, and these seeds are huge. Jumbo is selling them short. So grab your SMACKIN sunflower seeds today. Use code FULL15 at checkout for 15% off your first order. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get started.
That season, he became one of just 4 starting pitchers to throw a ball 101 miles per hour alongside Alcantara, DeGrom, and Cole.
He was one of 4 starting pitchers to throw a baseball 101 miles per hour this year. So he had that in the tank, alongside DeGrom, Alcantara, and Cole.
It feels like we're going down a similar path here, but let's see how they make it their own.
If we take a look at their average fastball velocity with the bases empty, Ohtani comes out on the top. Cole adds a tick with a runner on third, while DeGrom and Alcantara have their velocities unchanged. But Ohtani, he adds another 2.4 miles per hour with a runner on third compared to when the bases are empty.
But when you look at their average fastball velocities with the bases empty, Ohtani's baseline is way lower. So what does he do? He ramps it up when he has to. DeGrom and Alcantara's velocities are basically unchanged with a runner on third. Cole adds a tick, but Ohtani adds 2.4 miles per hour with a runner on third compared to with the bases empty.
Ohtani becomes a much better pitcher when that run is just 90 feet away.
He becomes a different pitcher when that run is just 90 feet away.
Okay, that stat is way more specific than the batter-pitcher matchups one. This is where we're getting into stealing territory, especially when you compound it with all the other stats featured in both videos.
Shohei Ohtani led all hitters in WPA in 2021, which means that in the context of each game, he added more win probability for his team than any other batter in the league. Oh, and these other guys? Yeah, they don't pitch.
Just take a look at his total WPA, win probability added, 5.18. He led Major League Baseball in that category. And when you look at Aaron Judge in second with 4.65 WPA, you see just how good Ohtani was compared to the rest of the league's hitters. This is especially true when you consider one final detail. They didn't pitch.
In this particular instance, the stealing was kind of inconsequential to me. This video's existence hasn't threatened my ability to make a living. My video has 600,000 views. Theirs had maybe 600 before it was deleted, but this was still making my blood boil the more I watched it.
Ohtani's most important hit that season was probably a 2-run homer against the Boston Red Sox to give the Angels the lead in the ninth.
His most pivotal hit was a 2-run homer, which he wrapped neatly around Fenway's pesky pole to give the Angels a lead in the ninth. That alone increased their chances of winning by 70%, giving him a .70 WPA.
That was one of those instances where you're trying to copy someone else's homework but only changed it a little bit. I say his most pivotal hit was this homer in Boston because it was based on win probability added, whereas the infringing video says,
Ohtani's most important hit that season was probably a 2-run homer against the Boston Red Sox.
Probably. Not only does that word probably just exist to use a word that I don't, there's no probably about it. This is based on statistical fact. That was his #1 hit by WPA. That's like saying Ronald Acuna Jr. probably stole 73 bases last year. No, he just did.
So good was Ohtani in the clutch that he had a 1276 OPS in high leverage situations. That wasn't just the best in 2021, it's the best since Lord Joseph Daniel Votto in 2012.
He had an OPS of 1.276 in high leverage situations, the highest in the league. And it wasn't just the best that season, it was the best since Joey Votto in 2012.
Now we're talking about OPS and high leverage, except the voiceover here changes from OPS to a different pronunciation.
Ohtani managed to sustain his two-way success that season. Just look at his ops against. But surely he wouldn't lead the league as a pitcher too. Actually, he did just that, with an ops against at .376.
Ops. Yeah, that super normal and human way of saying OPS. From the terrible people that brought you Ribby. This is the clearest indicator that the creator, and I'm using that term loosely, was enlisting some help from AI voiceover or script writing. More on that later. For now, I'll just quickly show you the last few examples.
He led MLB in ISO, a measure of in-game power where batting average is subtracted from slugging.
Ohtani led Major League Baseball in ISO rankings with .335, making him the most powerful hitter in the league.
He's also a member of the 119 club with Machado and Stanton.
Besides, only a few players, like Stanton and Machado, have managed a 119 mile/hour exit velocity in the past.
With an average StatCast sprint speed of 28.8 feet per second, Ohtani was in the 91st percentile of all position players. Faster than noted speedsters like Javi Baez, Whit Merrifield, Starling Marte, and Ozzy Albies.
His average speed of 28.8 feet per second puts him in the 91st percentile of all position players. What's more, Ohtani is faster than noted speedsters like Javier Baez and Whit Merrifield.
But if you remove the part-time players and only look at those with at least 100 competitive runs, he's actually number 1.
And if we look at only players with at least 100 competitive runs, you guessed it, Ohtani comes out on top.
Look, it ain't 40-40, but Shohei became just the 6th player to have 45 homers and 25 steals in a season.
He also became just one of 6 players to finish with 45-plus home runs and 25 stolen bases in a season.
And if you throw in an additional requirement of at least 5 triples, he's the only 45-25-5 player in MLB history.
And if we add in an extra requirement of 5 triples, then Ohtani stands alone.
And that's still not quite everything, but that should give you the idea. It's not that the act of making a video about Shohei Ohtani's widely celebrated 2021 was in itself an act of plagiarism. The act of plagiarism was simply lifting every single piece of statistical analysis from me in my video. I researched that stuff. It takes time and effort and creativity. It's not like I was Googling list of cool Shohei Ohtani facts from 2021. I was in the stat head and baseball savant trenches, and it shows when a creator puts in the effort, because this video that stole from mine, it's not good.
Just look at that 119-mile-per-hour line drive he hit against the Astros. It's a beauty to watch, right?
What do you mean, look at it? It's not on the screen, and it was against the Royals.
With an ops against at .376, he led Major League Baseball.
The screen is flipped so it looks like he's hitting right-handed. Ops!
Ohtani finished the 2016 season with a 10-4 record and struck out 174 batters in 140 innings.
While the video is talking about Shohei Ohtani's strikeouts as a pitcher in Japan in 2016, it's showing him striking out as a hitter in the United States in 2024. None of this footage even means anything. It's just a way to feed you what I think is an AI-assisted script and voiceover. The thing I'm still trying to figure out is how many layers of stealing are there in this? For example, did the infringer ask ChatGPT to summarize my video specifically? Or did they ask ChatGPT to write an essay about Ohtani, and did ChatGPT in return find my video and borrow heavily from it? Or was there no AI script writing at all because the line between AI-generated content and lousy human-generated content has blurred? ChatGPT writes essays like a 6th grader who was assigned a book report and only read the cliff notes, but a 6th grader who didn't read the book is still a human. When I asked ChatGPT to write an essay about Ohtani's 2021, it spoke mostly in glowing generalities and only mentioned the most basic stats: 46 home runs, 3.18 ERA, etc. Nothing specifically that would come from my video. When I asked it to summarize my video, it only wrote a little blurb without mentioning any of the specific stats. So my attempts to reverse engineer the plagiarism completely failed. I'm sure there are better prompts or different tools out there that I don't know about. Or maybe the plagiarism was 100% human with no AI involvement. But then again, the voiceover called OPS ops. As in I have ops, as in these streets are crawling with ops. I'm not totally opposed to using AI tools for creative endeavors. Imagine having episodes of baseball bits that are in Spanish or Japanese but still using my voice. Imagine using RetroSheet data to create visual representations of games that were played before baseball was televised. And AI is really too broad of a buzz phrase to pinpoint exactly what's making people uncomfortable. Every time I use the lasso tool in Photoshop, that's AI. Doesn't mean I'm betraying humanity. The problem is that a lot of people using these tools aren't creative people trying to enhance their product. They're uncreative people using the tools as a means to not pay creative people, and then they just generate a bunch of infinite background slop watched only by bots and unengaged human viewers. The idea that the video made by the infringer could siphon views from my own work is laughable in that sense. There's no competition here, my job is as secure as ever and I'm not in any trouble, Yet, if the percentage of viewers that simply can't comprehend media continues to grow, then maybe I am. Because if the infringers are putting in this little effort, then how many videos could they make for each one that I make? 10, 100, 1,000? They could just flood the whole internet and you'd never be able to find anything good. When the infringing video got called out, the channel operator quickly deleted it, but it showed back up a few hours later with a comment. Respectfully, I pour my heart and soul into each and everything I do that's ever been baseball related. Clearly you don't. You certainly didn't on this video. I hadn't seen the foolish baseball version of this until he commented on the old upload. Either they're lying or they're technically telling the truth, but the AI that they used to write the script watched the video instead. The entire process, no other channel was in mind. Impossible. It's just impossible that your video cited over a dozen specific stats and used the same complete sentences I wrote, yet my video wasn't part of the process in some way. Either you're aware of it and you're knowingly stealing, or you're unaware of it and the process is so removed from your own human contributions that you're not a creator at all. Oh wait, maybe they meant no other channel was in mind except for mine, in which case, what was the point? Because you didn't even adopt it into a new format. You took a YouTube video and you turned it into a worse YouTube video and you were like, alright, time to collect some ad revenue off of somebody else's ideas. So once again, credit to him and the work he puts in. So is that your way of admitting you borrowed from me? But I am not going to take a video down because someone posted something similar. But then they did. The video disappeared again a few hours after and it hasn't returned, which is why I was lucky to be able to download it in the first place, and I have no problem sharing clips from this taken down video with you all because it is fundamentally my video. If you want to support original content, head on over to patreon.com/foolishbaseball. You can pledge for $5 a month, see all the exclusive content on there, and if you cancel before the first of the month, you won't even get charged. This month, for the month of August, I did a Q&A. This is something I do about 6 times a year, and you can see it was a long one. It was, over an hour and a half, so a lot of content out there. You can see these are some of the topics that I covered throughout this Q&A. And just to support me, support what I do, head on over to patreon.com/foolishbaseball. Thank you for watching.